Hi, my name is Andy James, and I'm a Senior Solution Engineer at HashiCorp. I want to talk to you today about sort of the enterprise features that come with Nomad and how they can benefit your organization. So this is things like namespaces, resource quotas, your automated upgrades, your Sentinel policies, and sort of all the other things that may come in running Enterprise Nomad. When thinking about the Nomad Enterprise features, the very first feature that really adds value to Nomad is the concept of namespaces. In Enterprise, a namespace is a way to isolate and segment out your users and your objects, or think your jobs, from each other. So true isolation between all of your different jobs. And the idea here is that you can now make a namespace for, like, say, a dev team or an application, and then control their access within there. With the creation of namespaces, it actually gave us a more interesting feature, and that's resource quotas. Without namespaces, we had nothing to put quotas on. So once you get into Enterprise, you now have the resource quotas. Resource quotas give you the idea of doing memory limits and CPU limits. They give you the idea of being able to do regional, and in your federated clusters, your regional quotas. It's all about giving that control over what is available. Keep in mind that when we build our products, we're really thinking towards the enterprise as being a self-service model product. So because it's all self-service, you need to still put those guardrails around your users, and that's the value of namespacing and resource quotas. The next thing we hear a lot of our customers talk about is upgrading their Nomad cluster. The thing that people see is that with Nomad open source, you have to bring down your old nodes, bring up your new nodes, and it's just a process, and it can potentially cause downtime depending on how you do it. It's a little complicated. We really wanted to get our enterprise customers out of that world. So for enterprise, what you do is you simply stand up your new Nomad servers with the new version of Nomad, and when the same amount of new servers come online and join the cluster that already exist, the old ones will be automatically demoted and automatically removed from the cluster. So it's all about how do we automate the upgrades of your infrastructure and make it really easy. What's extra nice is that simply tie this into your Terraform runs, have Terraform spin up the new servers, you're good to go. The next thing we hear a lot of our customers talk about is read scalability. And this is my fourth topic for enterprise. What read scalability does is really helps figure out how we're gonna schedule jobs across a very large infrastructure. So think about customers that might have 5, 10, or even 15,000 Nomad nodes. The idea that 5 little clustered servers can schedule across all of that is almost impossible. So for our enterprise customers, we really wanted to make it easier to schedule at the speed that they need the job scheduled, but not impact the way that the quorum inside of Nomad works. Our quorum is based on Raft, which means once you get to about 5 servers, it really doesn't handle quorum very efficiently. So what we've done is we've made non-voting servers an option in Enterprise. You can add more servers to your cluster. These servers can schedule jobs, so now you've got a lot of little worker bees that can go schedule all your jobs, but these are not impacting quorum, so they're just servers that can do all your job scheduling. This is all about building efficiency into your model and making sure that all your jobs are being scheduled as quick as possible when you start talking about thousands of Nomad nodes. The very last sort of technical feature that we like to talk about is a product called Sentinel. Sentinel is about figuring out how to make really fine-grained ACL controls inside Nomad. This is sort of a separate product inside of HashiCorp. It's available across all of our product lines, so Terraform, Vault, Nomad, and Console all have it. The whole idea here is we really want to give you the flexibility to have more fine-grained controls. Some good examples of this are, maybe you have a job that should only be a Docker container, and maybe it should only be a Docker container from this particular image repository. The whole idea here is you can write a Sentinel policy, and it will limit that job. Additionally, we could also have things like, maybe your company only allows people to use Docker and isolated executables for their task drivers. Again, Sentinel is all about writing these sort of policies that control what access your end users have. This all ties back to self-service. Because we're all about building these products to be enterprise ready and self-service for your development teams, you have to build the guardrails around what they can do to still give them the freedom to do what they want. The very last good example that I really like to give about Sentinel is multi-DC. If you're thinking about HA and DR and sort of that model, you may want your applications by default to always go multi-DC. So an easy Sentinel policy can force all the jobs across multi-DC right out of the bat. The very last thing enterprise gives you that's not on this list is support. You might need help and you don't want to be alone. We have 3 support models. The highest one is 24/7 support. You have access to people like me, plus an entire technical support team, and depending on your account, even potentially a TAM. There's all these resources that are available to make sure that your Nomad experience and your developer experience and your operation experience are what you expect. If you want to learn more about how Nomad Enterprise can help your organization, I recommend visiting HashiCorp.com and reaching out to us. There's contact us links on the site, and they'll get you in touch with our sales team that can really figure out how Nomad fits in your organization.